Welcome everybody to the Red Stars post-match press conference. We have Coach Petrucelli here with us. Joe, if you want to kick us off.
Of course. Hi, Chris. Hi, Emmanuel. Thank you so much for taking the time, as always. Appreciate it. Chris, would you mind just kind of walking us through what happened there, kind of from the 35th minute on? It seemed like that right when the Tierna penalty happened, that everything kind of, well, in my words, would say kind of fell off the rails.
Yeah, I mean, we struggled to keep the ball, and we turned it over, and then the transition, that's where they gave us problems, you know, when we turned it over and they would run at us. I thought the second half we had a little more control of it. You know, we kept the ball a little better, but we clearly we weren't. You know, we weren't good enough.
Of course. And what will it take for Penelope had another really strong performance? Of course, wasn't able to get the shots on goal, though they were really close. What's it going to take for other players in the attacking third to get chances? It seems like Ella, despite the goal this last week, and Allie, though we've seen her get some opportunities, are still struggling to get multiple chances in a match.
Yeah, and again, I think this whole thing always comes to our ability to possess the ball. The more we have the ball, the more chances we create. We gave the ball away a lot, you know, in the first half, especially like in our half of the field. We didn't get to a point where we can think about creating a chance because it was, you know, we're giving the ball away so early.
Mm-hmm. And lastly, I'll ask this: what will it take for the team to stop conceding these penalties? It's now league leading 5. I know it stinks. It's just
crazy.
It's not fun. It really is. And also, if I may ask, was there an explanation on the Tierna penalty? Because at least from the Paramount Plus angle, it did not look like there was much contact.
No, I didn't. I don't typically ask about that stuff, and I assume when they go to the VAR that they got the call right, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean the penalties, you know, for me, they're a couple of things. One is, you know, again, the amount of time we're spending defending our penalty area. The more time you're in there, the more chance something can go wrong. And I don't know, it just seems like everything's going wrong at the moment, you know. And then, you know, I think both of them come from just not moving your feet enough and sticking a foot out, and that's been, I think that's been pretty consistent.
Thank you so much, Coach. Really appreciate it. Safe travels home.
Okay.
Thanks, Joe.
You got Jeff on there too.
Yeah, Jeff, if you have a question, you can go ahead.
Hey, sorry, joined late, so I don't want to make you repeat yourself, Chris.
No problem.
Just yeah, I guess, you know, obviously, I mean, I guess thoughts on the performance, I'm sure, you know, wanted much better, but maybe what do you sort of see that broke down, you know, to lead to this?
Well, we couldn't keep the ball, especially early in the game. You know, first half, we had turned the ball over a number of times in our half of the field. They pressed us pretty well, and we weren't able to play through it. And that, you know, that caused them to have, I think, territory, you know, more than anything else, the ball in our end a lot.
It looked like that territory, as you say, particularly in those wide areas.
Yeah, for sure. I think we had a rough time in the wide areas. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned, I think it was last week, sort of needing to make those tweaks. What do you sort of look at to kind of go forward, you know, given that?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, there's a number of different ways we can look at it. We've tweaked the system a couple of times, and when we do that, you know, we end up sitting in and defending, and what's happened is we've gone behind, you know, in every match relatively early, and so we have to be a little bit more aggressive, and we have to, you know, open up a little bit more, and that leads to the transition piece that, you know, that's where we got beat mostly tonight, is in transition.
Right. And I guess just finally for me, is that something maybe you think, does it have to be more drastic in terms of the shape, the personnel, more so than just a tweak?
We're getting close to that point, aren't we? Where you have to start thinking in bigger changes, than what we've done. I mean, we're certainly getting to that point, but it's hard. Like, you prepare your team to play a certain way. That's what we've been doing since the beginning. And to change that, on a couple of days of training is pretty difficult.
Right. All right. Appreciate it. Thanks, Chris.
Yep.